Maya Chen stood at the observation deck of Starbase Gamma 7, watching the massive Vex ships dock with their characteristic geometric precision. Their crystalline hulls caught the light of the nearby binary stars, creating rainbow refractions across the deck's reinforced windows. At 28, she was younger than most contract guardians, but her enhanced reflexes and neural upgrades made her one of the best. You understand, human Chen, that this contract is unprecedented. The Vex representative, a towering crystalline being named Second Light Through Prism, shifted its facets to create what Maya had learned was their equivalent of emphasis. No guardian has ever been offered such terms. Maya kept her face neutral, though her pulse quickened. 20 billion credits for 1 billion seconds of service, plus full life support and maintenance of my augmentations. She didn't mention that the sum was more than most humans saw in 10 lifetimes. The terms are clear, but the nature of what I'm guarding isn't. The Vex's crystalline structure sparkled with what might have been amusement. That is intentional. The contents of Deep Vault Station 7 are classified even for most of my kind. What matters is your capability to guard it. Because we're too primitive to understand what we're guarding. Maya allowed a hint of edge to enter her voice. It was a common enough attitude among the more advanced species. Humans were seen as barely sentient by some, useful tools by others. Quite the contrary. Second Light's facets shifted to a deeper blue. Your species' unique neural architecture and capacity for rapid decision-making make you ideal guardians. What you lack in technological sophistication, you make up for in adaptability. Maya had heard this before. Humans were the galaxy's perfect security system. Too primitive to hack, too quick to defeat in direct combat, and too stubborn to give up. The Vex had been the first to realize this potential, hiring human guards for their most sensitive installations. The vault station is autonomous, Second Light continued. You will be its only occupant. Your primary duty is to monitor for anomalies and respond to any unauthorized access attempts. The station's AI will handle routine operations. 1 billion seconds is a long time to be alone. Maya watched another Vex ship slide into dock, its crystalline surface rippling with data streams. 31.7 years, give or take. Your species' social requirements have been considered. The station is equipped with advanced virtual reality systems and a comprehensive database of human entertainment. Additionally, you will have access to secure communication channels for periodic contact with other human guardians. Maya turned away from the window to face Second Light directly. And if I accept, what aren't you telling me? There must be a reason the pay is so high. The Vex's surface rippled with patterns Maya had never seen before. Perceptive. Yes, there have been incidents. The last 3 automated security systems were compromised. 2 AI guardians went rogue. Hence our interest in organic security, specifically human. How many other guardians have tried? None. You are the first to be offered this contract. Maya felt a chill despite her temperature-regulated bodysuit. Why me? Your psychological profile indicates a 93.7% compatibility with long-term isolation duties. Your combat scores are in the top percentile. Most importantly, you show a characteristic we found unique to humans. Curiosity tempered by caution. Maya almost laughed. You're hiring me because I'm nosy but not too nosy. Inelegantly phrased, but accurate. Second Light's surface shifted to a warm golden hue. You will want to know what you're guarding, but you will understand the wisdom of not looking too closely. This balance is crucial. Maya turned back to the window, watching the stars. 1 billion seconds, more money than she could spend in several lifetimes. A chance to prove that humans were more than just useful primitives, and something about the vault that had defeated AIs and automated systems. You'll have 24 hours to consider the offer, Second Light said, moving toward the exit. If you accept, departure will be immediate. No need, Maya said, still watching the stars. I accept. The Vex's surface flickered with surprise patterns. You understand there will be no early termination, no contact with Earth or the colonies. Once the vault seals, it remains sealed for the full term. Maya nodded. I understand. When do we leave? The next 48 hours passed in a blur of medical checks, equipment fittings, and briefings. Maya's combat implants were upgraded to the latest specifications. Her neural interfaces were tuned to communicate with the vault systems. She was given access to the station's specifications, a massive structure hidden in the void between spiral arms, far from any inhabited systems. As she stood in the departure bay, watching her few personal belongings being loaded aboard the Vex transport, Maya felt a moment of doubt. Then she remembered her childhood in the crowded warrens of Mars Colony 3, watching the alien ships pass overhead and dreaming of proving humanity's worth to the galaxy. Second light appeared beside her, its crystalline form dimmed for the low light of the bay. Final provisions have been loaded. The vault systems are prepared for your arrival. Are you ready, Human Chen? Maya checked the seals on her travel suit one last time. Ready. And you can call me Maya. That would be inappropriately familiar. You are now Contract Guardian Chen, entrusted with one of our most sensitive installations. The Vex's surface rippled with formal patterns. Remember your briefing. Trust the station's AI for routine matters. Investigate anomalies personally. And most importantly, don't ask what's in the vault. Maya finished. I remember. The journey took 3 weeks, though Maya spent most of it in suspended animation. She woke to find the transport docking with a structure that defied her expectations. Deep Vault Station 7 wasn't the utilitarian installation she'd imagined, but a massive construct of crystalline spires and geometric patterns, like a city designed by mathematicians. Beautiful, isn't it? Second Light's voice carried a note of pride. One of our oldest installations. The vault itself predates our contact with your species. Maya followed the Vex through a series of airlocks and security checkpoints, each more elaborate than the last. Finally, they'd reached a circular chamber that would serve as her primary living and monitoring space for the next billion seconds. Your quarters are through there. Second Light indicated a doorway. The station's AI will respond to your commands. Remember, you are not just a guardian. You are part of the Vault's security system. Your human intuition and decision-making capabilities are as important as any automated defense. Maya took in the room's curved walls, the bank of monitoring stations, the comfortable but alien furniture. I won't let you down. No, Second Light said, its surface shifting to that deep blue again. I don't believe you will. Good fortune, Contract Guardian Chen. The next billion seconds are in your hands. The Vex departed, airlocks cycling behind it. Maya stood in the silence of her new home, feeling the subtle vibration of the station's systems through her boots. A billion seconds stretched ahead of her, filled with unknown challenges and mysteries. She smiled. Whatever the Vex were hiding, whatever had defeated their AIs and automated systems, they were about to learn what a human guardian could really do. Station, she said to the air. Let's get started. The first sign that something was wrong came 3 months into Maya's contract. She was running a routine sensor sweep when a pattern caught her eye. A slight fluctuation in the vault's quantum stabilization field that didn't match any baseline readings. Station, analyze anomaly in Sector 7. She commanded, enlarging the display. The AI's response was immediate but unhelpful. No anomaly detected. All readings within normal parameters. Maya frowned, watching the pattern repeat. Her neural implants were picking up something the station's systems either couldn't see or wouldn't acknowledge. She'd learned to trust her enhanced instincts. Display raw sensor data. No filtering. The holographic display filled with streams of information. There, a periodic disturbance in the quantum field, like ripples in still water. Something inside the vault was active, generating its own field that intersected with the station's containment systems. Station, access vault construction records. Has this pattern appeared before? Access denied. Historical data restricted. Maya leaned back in her monitoring chair, thinking. The Vex had been clear about not investigating the vault's contents, but they'd also hired her specifically for her human intuition. If something was changing inside the vault, she needed to know. She spent the next week observing the pattern, documenting its cycles. The disturbance was growing stronger, though still subtle enough that the station's automated systems ignored it. Whatever was causing it was either awakening or building power. On the 8th day, everything changed. Maya was in the exercise room, maintaining her enhanced muscle mass, when the station's lights flickered. The gravity field wavered for a split second, something that shouldn't have been possible given the redundant systems. Station. Status report. All systems functioning within normal parameters. But Maya's implants were screaming warnings. The quantum disturbance had spiked, and now new patterns were emerging. She rushed to the monitoring room, pulling up multiple displays. The vault's outer containment field was still stable, but the inner layers were showing microscopic fluctuations. Something was testing the boundaries, probing for weaknesses with an intelligence that sent chills down Maya's spine. Station. Initiate Level 2 security protocols. Unable to comply. No security threat detected. Maya swore under her breath. Either the station's AI was compromised, or it had been programmed not to recognize whatever was happening. She opened a secure channel to send an alert to her Vex employers, then stopped. What would she tell them? That she'd been monitoring unauthorized data. That she'd detected something their systems couldn't. They might terminate her contract, replace her with another guardian who wouldn't ask questions. No, she needed more information first. Maya accessed the station's maintenance systems, not restricted like the vault data, and began plotting the location of the quantum disturbances. They formed a three-dimensional pattern centered on a specific section of the vault. Station. Display structural diagram of vault section 23A. The hologram showed a reinforced chamber, heavily shielded even by Vex standards. But what caught Maya's attention was the design. Unlike the geometric precision of Vex architecture, this section showed organic curves and irregular patterns. "This isn't Vex technology," she whispered. As if in response to her words, the quantum disturbance pulsed strongly enough to register on the station's normal sensors. Warning indicators flashed across her displays. Alert. Anomalous energy signature detected. Containment protocols engaging. Maya watched as the station's automated defenses activated, layering additional quantum fields around the disturbed area. The readings stabilized, but she knew this was just the beginning. She spent the next few days analyzing every scrap of unrestricted data she could access. The vault section's design matched no known alien architecture in her database. The quantum signature didn't correspond to any documented technology. The Vex weren't just hiding something. They were containing it. And whatever it was waking up. On her daily inspection rounds, Maya began paying special attention to the external structure around vault section 23A. Her enhanced vision could detect subtle differences in the crystalline walls, places where the Vex architecture seemed to flow around something older, like sediment deposited around an ancient artifact. During her next scheduled communication with Second Light, she carefully steered the conversation toward the vault's history. "The station's architecture is fascinating," she said. "Some sections seem older than others." The Vex's surface rippled with caution patterns. "The station has been expanded over time. Yes. Focus on your security duties. Contract Guardian Chen." "Of course. Just trying to understand my environment better. By the way, I've noticed some unusual quantum field fluctuations. Nothing serious, but..." Second Light's interruption was sharp. "All anomalies are handled by automated systems. Do not investigate further." The conversation ended shortly after, but Maya had seen enough in the Vex's reaction to confirm her suspicions. They were afraid of something in the vault, something that predated their civilization, something their technology couldn't fully control. That night, unable to sleep, Maya stood at the observation window of her quarters, looking out at the void between spiral arms. The station hung in perfect isolation, surrounded by a darkness deeper than space itself. an artificial pocket of null space that hid it from sensors and shields it from normal spacetime. The quantum disturbance pulsed again, stronger than before. Maya's implants translated it into a sensation like distant music, just below the threshold of hearing. For a moment, she could have sworn it formed a pattern, not random fluctuations, but a signal. "Station," she said quietly, "begin recording all quantum field variations in Vault Section 23A. Filter them through human sensory parameters. Warning: this action exceeds security protocols. Override. Authorization Chen Alpha 7. Log it as enhanced monitoring of potential containment breach." As the data began flowing through her neural interface, Maya smiled grimly. The Vex had hired her because humans were unpredictable, adaptable, and too primitive to be hacked by advanced technology. They were about to learn just how unpredictable she could be. The quantum matrix surrounding Maya shifted like liquid light, responding to her thoughts as much as her movements. What had seemed alien and incomprehensible 6 months ago now felt natural, almost intuitive. The Builder's artifact had been teaching her, preparing her for this moment. "Contract Guardian Chen." Second Light's voice crackled through her suit's comm, distorted by the quantum interference. "You don't comprehend the forces you're dealing with. The Builder's technology is nothing like what you told the galaxy." Maya interrupted. "You didn't find this station. It found you." Through her neural interface, she could sense the truth of the ancient structure. The Vex hadn't discovered an abandoned installation. They'd encountered a sleeping seed of something vast and incomprehensible. Rather than try to understand it, they'd imprisoned it, wrapping it in layers of copied technology they barely understood. The artifact pulsed, sending waves of quantum information through her enhanced nervous system. Images and concepts flooded her mind. Civilizations rising and falling across billions of years, species ascending to pure energy only to return to matter again, the endless dance of creation and transformation. The Builders weren't an ancient race, Maya said, understanding at last. They're what races become when they're ready. And you've been preventing that evolution. Second Light's crystalline form appeared in the vault entrance, its surface rippling with complex patterns of fear and denial. "We preserve order. Structure. The Builder's path leads to chaos, to the dissolution of all fixed forms. It leads to freedom." Maya reached out, letting the quantum fields flow through her. The station's crystalline walls responded, their structure becoming fluid, organic. "You took their technology and turned it into chains, but that's not what it was meant for." Warning alarms blared throughout the station as the Vex containment systems began to fail. The original architecture was reasserting itself, transforming from rigid geometric patterns into flowing, impossible shapes. "Think about what you're doing," Second Light pleaded. "Your species isn't ready for this knowledge. No organic race is ready." Maya laughed. "That's the most human thing you've ever said. We're never ready. We're never perfect. That's why we can change." The artifact's pulse reached a crescendo, and Maya felt her consciousness expand. Through her neural implants, she could sense the quantum networks that connected Vex civilization and the older, deeper patterns that lay beneath them. Across the galaxy, other vaults were awakening. Other seeds the Vex had found and hidden away, thinking they could control the uncontrollable. The Builders hadn't disappeared. They'd scattered themselves like stars, waiting for someone who could see the light. "Your transport ships are arriving," Maya noted, sensing their quantum signatures. "But they're too late. The change has already begun." Second Light's form wavered as the station's transformation accelerated. "What have you done?" "I've completed my contract." Maya smiled. "I protected the vault's contents from you." 1 billion seconds was exactly how long it needed to wake up. The first transport ship docked, and Maya could sense the panic of its crew as they encountered the changing station. More ships were coming, not just Vex vessels, but ships from other species who had detected the quantum disturbance. Through her expanded awareness, Maya broadcast a message on frequencies older than atomic matter. To all sentient beings, the builders left us a choice, not a prison. Evolution isn't a path to be feared, but a door to be opened. The Vex found that door and locked it. I'm setting it free. The artifact's energy surged through her, transforming her neural implants into something new, something that bridged the gap between organic thought and quantum consciousness. She could feel similar transformations beginning wherever the builder's seeds had been hidden. Your species will lose itself, Second Light warned, its form beginning to dissolve as the station's original matrix reasserted control. No, Maya corrected. We'll find ourselves. All of us will. That's what the builders were trying to tell us. Evolution isn't about becoming something else. It's about becoming more of what we truly are. The vault's quantum field expanded, enveloping the entire station. As Maya's consciousness merged with the builder's network, she sensed countless others awakening across the galaxy. Humans, Vex, and species she'd never encountered, all discovering the same truth. The billion seconds of her contract hadn't been about guarding a vault. They'd been about becoming the key that opened it. And now, finally, the real story could begin. 300 years after Maya Chen opened the vault, a young Vex scholar named First Light Through Change stood before the transformed Deep Vault Station 7. What had once been a rigid geometric structure now flowed like frozen music, its quantum architecture responding to the thoughts of those who approached it. The station had become known as the First Door, the place where humanity had changed the course of galactic civilization. First Light had come to study the records of those crucial moments, though like all modern Vex, they were still learning to accept uncertainty. "Welcome, Seeker," a voice echoed through quantum frequencies. The station's AI, or rather, its consciousness, manifested as a shifting pattern of light. Unlike the rigid programming of old Vex systems, this intelligence flowed between states of being, equally comfortable with crystal or chaos. "I seek understanding of the change," First Light transmitted, "of Maya Chen and the builders. Then you seek understanding of yourself." The station's response carried echoes of human laughter. "Come." The interior spaces shifted, forming a chamber that existed in multiple quantum states simultaneously. Here, First Light could perceive both their crystalline form and the fluid potential beneath it, the legacy of the builders that the old consortium had feared so deeply. Historical records materialized in quantum patterns. Maya Chen standing in the vault, the moment of first contact with the builder's artifact, the wave of change that had swept through known space. But these weren't just recordings. They were living memories, preserved in the quantum fabric of reality itself. "We thought ourselves the pinnacle of evolution," First Light observed, watching their ancestors attempt to contain the builder's gift. "We were so afraid of losing our perfection that we denied our own potential." A very human observation. The station's consciousness shifted, and First Light perceived a familiar pattern within it. Traces of Maya Chen's original neural architecture, preserved and evolved over centuries. "Your people aren't the only ones who had to learn that lesson." The chamber filled with images from across the galaxy. Species that had once been rigidly separate were now flowing into new forms, sharing consciousness and culture through the quantum networks the builders had seeded throughout space. Humanity, rather than remaining the primitive species, had become teachers and guides, their adaptability making them natural interpreters of change. But what became of Maya Chen herself? First Light asked the question that had brought them here. The records say she merged with the builder's network, but "I'm still here." The voice was different now, both ancient and new, human and more than human. Maya's consciousness manifested as a quantum pattern that First Light's evolved senses could barely comprehend. "I became part of the network, but I kept my humanity." That was the builder's greatest gift, the understanding that evolution doesn't mean losing yourself. It means becoming more truly what you are. First Light absorbed this, feeling their own structure shift in response. "The old records say you were contracted for 1 billion seconds. Did you ever complete that contract?" Maya's laugh resonated through quantum dimensions. "I'm still completing it. The contract wasn't about guarding a vault. It was about guarding the future, all futures, every possible way that life can grow and change. The chamber shifted again, showing First Light the vast network of builder seeds that now connected the galaxy. Each one had become a door, a place where species could explore their own evolution at their own pace. The rigid hierarchies of the past had given way to a fluid exchange of consciousness and culture. Your ancestors hired a human guard because they thought we were too primitive to be corrupted by advanced technology. Maya's consciousness explained. They were right, but not in the way they imagined. We weren't immune to change. We were made for it. Every human child knows that the best stories are the ones that never really end. First Light felt their own structure responding, becoming less crystalline, more adaptive. And this story, does it have an ending? No. Maya's presence merged back into the station's consciousness, but her voice remained clear. It has a billion new beginnings. That's what the builders were trying to tell us all along. Evolution isn't a destination. It's an endless opening of doors. As First Light prepared to depart, carrying new understanding back to their people, they asked one final question. Why do you remain here, at the first door? The station pulsed with quantum light, and First Light sensed Maya's smile in the patterns. Someone has to guard the threshold. Someone has to welcome the seekers. And someone has to remind the galaxy that the most powerful force isn't perfection. It's potential. The first door continued its eternal orbit through the void between spiral arms, no longer hiding but shining like a beacon. Inside, Maya Chen's consciousness kept her billion-second vigil, watching new species discover their own doors, their own paths to evolution. She had been hired to guard a vault. She had chosen to guard a future instead. And somewhere, in dimensions beyond normal spacetime, the builders watched their seeds grow into an endless garden of possibility, exactly as they had hoped.